Hola, buenos días. Buen dia. I forgot we say buen dia here in Colombia. Welcome back to Appa's Kitchen on the road here in Medellín. I'm in Laureles. Beautiful morning here. I think it's going to get hot today, and today's election day. So you can watch my video yesterday to get the whole lowdown on election day here in Colombia. It's tense. I hope they make the right decision because I think things are really good here. I think the president, past 4 years, has done some really good stuff. And come to think of it, the last time I was here was 4 years ago, and I remember going to D1, which is where I'm going now. They sell, it's one of the cheaper supermarkets, and I wanted to buy wine, and I couldn't because it was election day. So, what a coinkydink. Anyway, I'm going to D1. I just wanted to come out. I need to figure out my routine here. It's just really nice in the morning, but I sit at home, I make a smoothie, I just kind of fiddle around until it's lunchtime, and then I go out for lunch, but then it's hot. This is the time to go out when it's still nice and cool, and then go out later in the evening when it cools down again. But my videos focus on lunch because dinner here is very late and I don't like to eat late. Last night, true confession here, I ordered some Chinese food pretty late. It was around 8 o'clock because I just had the munchies. I don't know why. That's the problem with Rappi. It's so easy. All right, anyway, I'm going to go to D1. Here's a Peruvian restaurant. I just found it on the map today. They have daily lunch specials, so I'll be checking that place out. So I'm going to D1. I just want to get some water, some toilet paper, just some basics. See what else they have. So I'll show you D1. And then I think I'm going to go to this little Colombian restaurant. This little restaurant that I found yesterday on my walk for lunch, where they have daily specials. So that'll be the food for today. Videos are going to get shorter unless I start doing something, but at this point, I don't really have that many things that I want to do. So this is really just about living here for a month and kind of daily routine. So today's daily routine is D1. So that noise you hear is traffic. I'm on the main road here, Nutibara. And D1 is just right here. There are 3 supermarkets here. There's D1, there's Euro is right across the street there, and then Carulla is a block away. And honestly, between the 3 of them, I don't really feel like I have the best choices for like produce and stuff. But anyway, this is D1. They do have some produce here. I might get some onions. So the alcohol is blocked off. So this is a no frills supermarket. Kind of reminds me of grocery outlet in the US. So it's pretty basic stuff here. They don't really do a whole lot in terms of displays, just opening the boxes and putting on the shelf, but it's cheap. Alcohol. can't buy today. I don't understand the logic of prohibiting alcohol on election day, but I guess they don't want you to be drunk when you vote. Okay, this time I won the supermarket sweepstakes. He asked a question and I understood. It's probably the same question they all ask. And I don't know why, was he was speaking louder or what? Anyway, he said registro o documento, something like that. So are you registered or do you have a document? I think that's what he said. Anyway, those were the two words that I heard. And I just said no. And then I said, I'm not from here. Just so he didn't think I was being rude. It was nice little cashier, very friendly. It's a funny place. There was no air conditioning. The people before me made a comment. He said something about the AC not working. I think in places like that, that's how they keep the prices down. They just don't pay for air conditioning. So it's not the most pleasant experience, but D1 is a good place to go for your basics. Like I wish I had gotten my basics there. They had olive oil, they had salt, pepper, so things that I bought at Carolla, which is probably even more expensive of the three. Anyway, tip for you viewer, if you come to Colombia, go to D1 for your basics. Their wine is also very cheap. They have a good selection of Chilean wines. So it's good wine. It's not, cheap wine. So if you're familiar with grocery outlet in the US, it's very much like that. Let me show you where I almost killed myself yesterday. So up here, there's this cafe, tattoo and piercing. And I was walking along and I was looking at the cafe, and let me show you the ground. Along here, and I was looking at the cafe to try to get an idea of what kind of a place it was. And there's this little step here that I didn't see. And I stumbled and I almost fell into all those motorcycles that were sitting there. There were 3 motorcycles sitting there. Oh, that would have been a story. So, even though the sidewalks here are better than some places I've been to, they're not perfect. I don't know why they have that step there. That's crazy with all these old people. There's my building. Looks like a castle. And that's my balcony, the first one. My doorman is not here today, so I have to open the door myself. All right, let me show you what I bought. Toilet paper. Oh, it's 4 rolls. Okay, perfect. These Airbnbs, they give you the minimum. I got some onions and some tuna and olive oil. I bought this beautiful mango from the fruit guy yesterday. So it was 5,000 pesos. The money here is so funny. So 5,000 pesos, I had 6,000. The bills are just like those 2,000, 2,000, just tiny little bills. And so I gave him that. And then he said, "Do you want a banana?" For 1,000 pesos for a banana. Just crazy, the denominations here. Anyway, I'm going to have this now as my morning snack. I already had a smoothie, so I'm going to have a mango. All right, that's it. So I'll see you at lunchtime. Lunchtime. So I'm going to go a different street today. Every day I try to take a different street. just a block that I haven't seen yet because you never know what you're going to discover. So I'm going to this restaurant called Caseritos de la Sesenta. Caseritos de la 76. Caseritos kind of means home cooking, homemade things, I think. Casa is home. And 76 is the street. So it's homemade things on 76. Let me show you this neighborhood. It's pretty much the same. So there's a real mix here I'm noticing of these low-rise buildings. There are a few right across from me, which I like. You know, they have those tile roofs and then the high rises. So I'm glad I don't have a high rise right across from me. So I'm guessing the low rise buildings are older and the high rises are newer. Lots of dogs here in Medellín, in Laureles. That building looks newer. And I'm guessing the brick buildings, I'm going to say these brick buildings are probably from like the 60s or something. The low-rise buildings are older than that. So again, this neighborhood was designed in the 40s by an architect and an artist. And it was intended to be a neighborhood for workers. And then it ended up being more of an upper class neighborhood. I don't know what you're supposed to say when you walk between people that are basically blocking the sidewalk, but I said perdon. Anyway, I like this street. So I'm walking up to 76 and hopefully this restaurant's open today. It's just so pretty, all these flowers and trees. This street here, and I'm walking along, is kind of a busy street. Busier than the one that I walked on yesterday because it goes directly to Circulare number 2. And also there are more people walking here than on the other street. So I like the other street better. What is this? Descubriendo Maravillas. Kind of looks like a daycare center. Yeah, too many people here for me to film. There's a church. People were coming from church. And look, there's Mary. I don't know if this is 76. The problem here is, you know, these streets are circular and diagonal, and you never know where you're going to end up. But let's see where this takes us. 76 is also a pretty major street. That might be it. Up ahead. Well, I just checked my map and I looked at Caseritos de la 76. And guess what? They're closed. But here's another supermarket. It's not Appa's Kitchen if we don't have to go to Plan B. So this is Supermu. And what is that restaurant there? Un buen momento para something. Let's go check it out. Artesano. All right, let's go check it out. And I'll take a look at the supermarket too. It's all about flexibility, viewer, and also checking things before you go out on the street. I should have checked to make sure they were open. For some reason, I just assumed they were. That was kind of silly because it's a menu del dia, it's a daily special kind of place. And those usually are geared towards workers and people need to have a day off. There's a bakery over there. It's cute. I like this little section of this street, which I haven't seen before. And I guess you could just walk out into the street, even though it says don't walk, and there's a lot of traffic. I'm just going to go to that restaurant and find something. I don't know what kind of restaurant it is, but at this point I'm hungry and it's getting hot and there are people there. So just get something. I don't know how to get there. I have to go through the supermarket. All right, it's just part of the supermarket. Very nice. Let's scan this QR code. But I think they have a menu. I think the QR code is just a survey. So I have to wait for a menu, but it looks very popular. They have fish. They have stews. I wonder if the food is from the supermarket. Cool. It's hot. Here's some of the things they have. Salomo, steak, sancocho is like a stew. It has all this stuff in it. Then it comes with avocado and a banana. Bandeja paisa is a kind of typical meal. It can have different things in it. Usually it has chicharron. It has this blood sausage, which I don't think I like. This one has steak and egg, avocado, plantain. What is that? Sierra Sawish? I can't read that, but looks like that's fish. Casserole of the house. Casserole de la casa. Salmon. No menu though, I just have to wait. Still waiting for the menu. They know I'm here. They just saw me sitting here. There's a little argument here about the order. I'm so hungry. If I weren't so hungry, I would go someplace else because I don't want to have to wait this long just to get a menu. All right, the menu came. So they have juices, which is nice. You can get it with milk or with water. Maracuya. Rojos, these are sodas. What kind of juices do they have? All right, figure that out later. They have seafood, they have Italian, they have grilled, bandejas. See this rib tray looks good. Bandeja típica. Prices are really good. A mountain tray. mixed roast, casseroles. I'm so hungry. So I think I might go for the rib tray or the mountain tray. It looks like the mountain tray has steak, and I think that's chicharron. Oh, this is what I was looking at before. Sawfish. Yeah, no seafood for me. All right, mountain tray. All right, so eating at the supermarket on a Sunday. This place is called Monteleños. I don't know if it's a chain. I don't know if it's part of the supermarket. Let me find out. The service is, how can we say, grumpy. I enjoyed this little argument he was having with this lady over here. She wasn't happy with her food, and he was just like, no, no, no. This is what you order. This is the way it comes. He was showing him his phone. He just wasn't having it. It's a local experience. That's what we do here in Appa's Kitchen for tourists here. And I like that I'm right on the street here. I'm watching people walk their dogs and go into the pharmacy. It's sunny, but I'm in the shade. Soccer matches on. It's hot. It's going up to 80 today. It's getting warmer every day now. I still haven't seen any rain, but it's cool in the morning. It's cool in the evening. It just gets hot in the afternoon. All right, this was a mistake. I got coconut lemonade. I thought it would be made with coconut water for some reason, but it's coconut milk. Tastes very Thai. It's a real family spot. We got families here. I like it. I don't like this though, but I'll deal with it. And guess what? I got a smile from the grumpy waiter. So when he brought my coconut lemonade, he also had a tray with some coffees and some desserts. So I was just looking at the tray, and he unwrapped the straw, which by the way is plastic. I've been getting a lot of paper straws here. So he unwrapped the straw, and I guess he saw me looking at the desserts. So he just smiled at me when he gave me the straw. That was a good score. Hey, smiles are hard to come by. All right, my food is here, but I don't have any silverware. I got chicharron, beans, egg, rice, and some arepa, a little salad, some steak, a plantain, and an avocado. All right, this is pretty good for supermarket food. So the arepa comes with every meal. I don't really get a big deal. It's kind of like the Colombian equivalent to a tortilla. People are very demanding. Both of these tables here. very funny, different cultures, restaurant habits, the way they treat service people. Here, they're obviously servants. He's not having any of it. I don't know why I don't understand why ordering is so complicated. In Argentina, they ask a million questions. Just order what's on the menu. But I think it's a kind of a class thing. You know, these are upper middle class people. Maybe even have a cook at home. Today's our day off. I don't know. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. The chicharron, the skin is kind of chewy. It's not crunchy, so it's not the best. So I asked Claude, I said, it's interesting observing the Colombians. They seem to be very demanding and have a lot of questions and requirements. Claude said, that tracks with what I've heard about Medellín. Wait a minute. You're AI, you're not a person. Who have you been talking to, Claude? But anyway, Medellin, they have a reputation for being entrepreneurial and direct, and then that can translate into food service. You know, they have very specific requirements about their food. So I said, could it also be a class thing? And Claude said, definitely. That class position often comes with a particular expectation to service. Wait a minute. Particular relationship to service, an expectation of deference because they're in a higher position, and also customization and attention to detail. I said, but we're eating in a supermarket. And Claude said, it doesn't matter. You're in Laureles, it's an upper middle class neighborhood. So very interesting to observe. Yeah, I got a smile. These people are not getting smiles because they're I think they're kind of rude, but you know, it's hard traveling and just seeing things like this kind of class differences, which we don't really emphasize in the U.S. You tend to be, if you're a decent human being, you tend to be nice to your servers. And actually, in some cases, the servers might be making more money than you are. But here, there definitely are hierarchies in terms of class, and people working here are not the same class as these people who are eating here, especially when they bring their little fufu dog with them. It's even more noticeable in places where you add race to the mix, like in Guatemala, where you have the upper class is white, more Spanish. The lower class is indigenous. So you really see it there. It's hard to watch. Those people are really treated like servants, like animals. They really have a lot of demands. And you know, people don't tip here. Just the standard 10%. They're really annoying me. I keep getting up, going to get more things, calling the servers over. I bet I know who they voted for. All right. Well, that was good. I ate almost the whole thing. I didn't eat the little chicharron skin. It's a little bit of arepa left here. And this is more like dessert. Made a mess here. We have a problem here. I mean, we're eating in a supermarket here. It's a major problem. They're all involved. Everybody has something to say about. All right, I had to get away from those people. They were really annoying me. It was major complaint about something. I don't know. They were not happy. And then we come here to pay. I could just walk out if I wanted. It's a nice supermarket. It's really big. Let's see if they have maracuya. This is passion fruit. Guayaba, guava. No, I forget what these are called. These are very famous Colombian fruits. Granadilla. These are some kind of oranges. Tomate injerto. So it's tomato, but it's not really a tomato, it's a fruit. All right, I'll have to come back to this supermarket on a weekday. Mangoes, bananas. It's not like huge, but it's bigger than the ones I've been to. Nice meat counter. All right, so there you have it, viewer. Oh, so I couldn't pay by card. Well, that was weird. It's a supermarket. Have to pay by cash. This aisle is closed because it's election day. All right, let's get out of here. All right, well, that was just hysterical. What an experience. See, here in Appa's Kitchen, we don't go to the Instagrammable places. We eat at the supermarket. Whoever thought you could eat at the supermarket and then witness a whole soap opera right before your eyes. I mean, these are the kind of people that you see in Mexican soap operas. So they were very unhappy with their meal, and the server just disappeared. The manager had to take care of it. I wonder what they call a Karen in Latin America. They do have the name Karen here. Karen. All right, so I'm gonna walk a different street now. This block I haven't seen yet. So we'll see what's down here and then head back to my place. This cross, don't walk, don't walk signal doesn't seem to be working. All right, so we got a pharmacy here, 24 hours, that's good to know. Very major street here. A lot of stuff over there. Cocorico. Right, not really a whole lot there. And fortunately, I walked this way yesterday, so I think that's the street that I want. But you can see how confusing it is with all these diagonal streets. Like which one goes the way that I want. But this is, yeah, that's Antonio's Gelato. And then Pergamino should be right up here. It's Pergamino. A lot of people out on the street coming from church still. I didn't realize I was still recording. So there's Pergamino. I really like that building. I guess that was a house at some point. It's cute. But it's very busy, too busy for me right now. And this street is also too busy for me. But I have no choice. All right, well, the war hasn't started yet, so I wonder if people voted. Medellín supposedly is very conservative. I guess that kind of makes sense, especially in neighborhoods like this. I was just called a libtard by somebody on Facebook because I think Elon Musk should pay taxes. A libtard leech, I think, is exactly what I was called. The problem with these crowded streets is, I was going to say earlier, you know, they seem very good about sharing the sidewalk here, which is kind of one of my major complaints in different places where I've traveled to, when people are walking towards you. So here, when people are walking towards you, they definitely take a lane, and it's really easy to navigate. So I like that. And the other thing I really like is people are not walking around smoking. So I've seen maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes since I've been here. So they don't seem to be big smokers. All right, well, I'm going to end it here, viewer. So I hope you enjoyed this little Sunday excursion out on the streets of Laureles in Medellín. We had lunch at the supermarket, watched a little drama unfolding before our eyes. So I'll let you know tomorrow what happened with the election. Should be decided. And I'll let you know if there's any war on the streets. So stay tuned. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Hasta la vista. Bye.